Sometimes you hear a story and you just think, wow, talk about unexpected beginnings leading to something incredible.
I know, right? And today's deep dive is exactly that kind of story. It's really heartwarming and inspiring, actually. Bret Moleta and the company he built, Mindsaw, I mean, what a journey.
It really is. And we've got some great material here to go through, showing how he got there. It's a good reminder that, success isn't always this straight line. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And for you listening, Bret's story is really built on this foundation of like self-belief, perseverance, pushing through when things get tough, and then this incredible moment of accidental discovery that totally changes everything.
Yeah, it's amazing. And what's so cool is how that spirit, that tenacity, like woven right into the DNA of Mindsaw, his company. It's all about helping local businesses not just survive, but really thrive in the digital world.
Exactly. And our mission today for you is to really unpack the key lessons, those inspiring moments from Brett's story, and see how they shaped Mindsaw into what it is now.
So what do we have to work with? What are our sources for this one?
Well, I've got this really detailed account that lays out Brett's journey as an entrepreneur. All the twists and turns, the highs and lows, it's all there.
Okay, so let's get into it. Now, his career didn't exactly start in what you'd think of as the tech world, right?
No, not at all. He was a jail guard, can you believe it? With the New York City Department of Correction. Started back on January 4th, 1996.
Wow, talk about a different world. And it seems like even then he was looking for something more.
Yeah, you can kind of sense that underlying drive. He ended up taking a job at this struggling gym, and that's actually where he first got exposed to, like, website design.
What a jump from corrections officer to the early days of the internet.
It is, right.
Ah.
And then, around 1997, he starts hitting the pavement, going door to door, trying to sell website design. Can you imagine? For $300 a site.
Wow, just $300. Those were the days. So what was that like? I mean, the internet was still pretty new for a lot of people, right?
Totally. Think about it. He's lugging around this, like, thick laptop, plugging into phone lines just to get on AOL so he can show people what websites are, what he can do. And he wouldn't go home until he made a sale. Now that's dedication.
I love that. Pure hustle. I read that his first sale was to this little bodega on Staten Island. The corner of Richmond Terrace and Port Richmond Road. That's pretty specific.
I know, right? And there are these little details that just paint a picture. Like there's a mention of him having a cardboard patch in his shoe.
No way, really?
Yeah, it's in there. That just speaks volumes about like his resourcefulness and determination.
Absolutely. So he's out there full of passion, but was he kind of ahead of his time? I mean, the internet wasn't what it is today.
For sure, he was definitely facing an uphill battle. Not everyone understood the internet or websites or what they could even do for their business.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of courage to stick with a vision when the timing isn't quite right.
Totally. But he had this idea, right? That long game thinking, this $25 monthly hosting fee that he thought would lead to huge success.
Yeah, that was his plan. It didn't quite pan out the way he imagined, but it kept him going. For 3 years, until 2000, he's out there pounding the pavement, and he ended up getting something like 30 clients that way.
That's amazing. It's that classic story of building something brick by brick, or website by website in his case. So 2000 rolls around, what happens?
Well, 2000 was a big year. He opens his first website design store. It was on Staten Island.
Wow, his own storefront.
Yeah, it was apparently this really modern space. But then from 2000 to 2011, things got pretty tough.
In what way? What happened?
Remember that low monthly hosting fee? It kept clients happy, but it meant Bret was constantly hustling to make payroll.
It's the classic pressure of running a business, especially in the early days,
Yeah.
right? Just trying to keep your head above water.
Totally. Imagine he's juggling his full-time job with the Department of Correction, and then on his days off, he's back to the grind. Cold calls, door-to-door, handing out business cards. That entrepreneurial hustle, it never stops.
It's pretty inspiring.
Right.
And talk about dedication. There's this story about him driving all the way to Queens after a wrong number just to try and get a sale.
Seriously.
Yeah, it shows you just how committed he was. And get this, through those 11 years of struggle, he never missed payroll. Ever.
Wow, that's incredible. And remember, this is all happening against the backdrop of 9/11. He was part of the emergency service unit, so he was responding to that while trying to keep his business going. Talk about intense pressure.
It's just incredible resilience. And then, to make things even harder, in 2011, he gets hit with a major betrayal.
Oh, yeah, that's rough. He finds out his own staff are stealing clients, undercutting him, offering services on the side.
Oh, no. Are you serious? After all that work and struggling to make ends meet, that's just awful.
It is, and it really hit him hard. You can imagine, after years of that constant financial pressure, it really instilled this deep anxiety in him about going broke. It's a feeling I think a lot of entrepreneurs can relate to.
For sure.
Yeah.
So what happens next? Does he give up?
No, he keeps going, but things change. This betrayal forces him to close his storefront and move into a smaller, third-floor
Oh,
office.
wow. So no more walk-in traffic. He must have been worried.
He was. But then comes this turning point. It's really incredible, actually. He gets this email from a guy named Paul James offering a course on how to rank in the Google Maps pack for like $147.
So what did he do?
He took a chance, he invested in that course, and over a single weekend, he put what he learned into action.
Yeah.
And he got his own business listed in what was then called the Google 7-Pack. It was basically the top 7 local business listings that showed up on Google Maps.
That's huge.
It was. Suddenly, he had a way to be seen by local customers, something that door-to-door sales just couldn't do at that scale.
Exactly. It completely changed the game for him. Plus, that knowledge helped him really deliver for his clients.
Why? There's more to the story, right? Didn't he start making YouTube videos? He did, but that's a whole other chapter. He first tried it around 2012 or 2013. But those early videos, well, he admits they were pretty bad. He really wasn't comfortable being on camera. He ended up taking them down for like 5 years.
Wow, so even someone as successful as him had those moments of, like, what am I doing?
Totally relatable. Right. Putting yourself out there, especially on video, it's not easy. So he went back to what he knew, door to door and cold calling. It just goes to show you, even after you have some success, stepping outside your comfort zone can be tough.
It definitely can. So when did YouTube finally take off for him?
Well, it's actually a pretty amazing story. He makes this video sharing his local SEO knowledge, helping businesses rank higher in search results. But this time, he doesn't show his face. He wasn't even really trying to drum up business, more just like sharing his knowledge to help others. He uploads it to his personal channel, not even the Mindsaw one.
So what happened? Did it go viral?
Not at first. It sat there for a year, maybe 100 views. He thought it was another dud. It just shows you never know which efforts are going to pay off, right?
So true.
Yeah.
But then he almost deleted the video. What happened?
He accidentally hit download instead of delete. He's looking at the file, and he has this random thought. He decides to upload it to the Mindsaw channel, the one that wasn't really being used, before deleting it.
Wow. Talk about a sliding doors moment. So what happened?
That accidental download, that little decision, changed everything. The video takes off, it gets like 40,000 views, and he starts getting business inquiries from everywhere, like from all over the world.
You've got to be kidding.
I know, it's incredible. And he still gets emotional talking about how close he came to deleting that video. It's such a great example of how you just never know what's going to resonate, what's going to make a difference.
He must have been so relieved. But was he finally over his fear of being on camera?
Not quite yet. It actually took another year before he made another video. He was still hesitant.
I can understand that. But his project manager starts getting calls, people asking about working with them from Australia, Canada, all over the place.
Exactly. It was that real-world proof that online content could be so powerful. That's what finally convinced him to really embrace YouTube. And honestly, it's become central to Mindsaw and his role as like a local SEO expert. It's really inspiring overcoming that fear and seeing what can happen.
Absolutely. So to kind of bring it all together, you can really see how all of Bret's experiences, the good and the bad, shaped Mindsaw. Today, it's this fully remote team all across the U.S. and beyond. It proves you don't need a fancy office to make real connections and do great work.
And they do some really cool stuff. They focus on what local businesses need to grow, offering website design, local SEO, and these strategic consultations. It's a full package,
Yeah, so tell me a bit about the team he's built. I read that Chris Schwimmer has been there since 2011 as a project manager, making sure everything runs smoothly.
Yeah, Chris is key. And they have a really strong team. John Paul Bugarin joined in 2019. He's a web designer, super passionate about building those meaningful WordPress websites.
WordPress is so versatile, right? It's a great platform. What about their local SEO expertise?
Well, they have Feb Barlamento, also from 2019, as a virtual assistant focusing on internet marketing and SEO. And then there's Anthony Cabrera. He's been there since 2017, and he's known as the SEO guy. He's all about getting those rankings up.
It's great that they've got that long-term experience on the team. It says a lot about the company culture.
Totally. And they've got some great newer additions, too. Alvin Barreau joined in 2023. He's super positive and proactive. And they've also got Margie Cabrera, who's awesome at creating Google Business Profile posts, those updates businesses post on Google.
Yeah, those are so important. So how does Mindsaw actually approach local SEO? I mean, what do they do for businesses?
Well, they really focus on helping businesses stand out locally, attracting those customers in their area. They know how to get those Google Maps rankings up, which is huge for visibility.
It is. So what's their secret sauce?
They make sure your Google business profile is optimized, that your business name, address, and phone number are consistent across all the online directories, and they create content that's targeted to your local area. It's all about making it super easy for local customers to find you when they're searching online.
It makes sense. And what about their website design? Do they just build pretty websites?
Not at all. They're all about building websites that work. They focus on speed, how easy the website is to use, and making sure it actually gets results. They build on WordPress, which gives a lot of flexibility and control, and the designs are all custom, with SEO best practices built in from the start.
So it's not just about looking good, it's about performing well too. Makes sense. And what's the investment like?
Most clients spend between $6,000 and $10,000, and projects typically take about 3 to 12 weeks. It's definitely an investment, but it's about quality and making sure that website really works for them.
What about businesses that need a little more hands-on guidance? Do they offer any consulting?
They do. They have strategic consultations specifically aimed at helping businesses improve their Google Maps rankings and get more organic traffic, traffic that comes from search engines, not paid ads. And their initial consultation is free, so there's no risk in just talking to them and seeing what they can offer.
That's great. So how do those consultations work?
Well, they usually last between 30 and 60 minutes, and clients get a customized strategy plan tailored to their business.
That's really valuable, getting a plan that's specific to your needs.
Exactly. And they prefer to work with clients on a 12-month agreement, which gives those strategies time to really work. They also limit the number of competing businesses they work with in the same area, so they're not going to be helping your direct competition.
That's a smart approach. It shows they're really invested in their client success. Do they offer any, like, one-off services?
They do. They have a la carte services for those who need something specific, but generally they find that the 12-month agreements are the most effective.
So what kind of results can businesses expect? What's the timeline?
Typically, they aim to see noticeable SEO improvements within 3 to 6 months and a solid return on investment within 12 months.
That's pretty good, especially for SEO, which can take time. What about client involvement? I mean, how much time do they need to put in?
They emphasize that client involvement is really important in the early stages to get those strategies right, but then they aim to keep the time commitment pretty minimal so business owners can, focus on running their business. It's a really practical approach.
That makes sense. So they sound great, but do they have any happy clients?
Tons. The article is packed with great feedback. Johnny Benton raves about their local SEO tips, and Don Siller recommends them specifically for Google business profile issues. They're clearly making a difference for people.
That's great to hear.
Okay.
Any others standout testimonials?
Oh, yeah. There's Andras, who really appreciated their teaching skills and all the insights they share on YouTube. And then you have Dominic Martel, who found their local SEO consultations super helpful, and Chris Montoya, who credits Mindsaw with really elevating his SEO strategies since 2017.
That long-term impact is really impressive. Any examples of, like, really amazing results?
Absolutely. Fortress Roofing and Cabinets Forals in Tempe, they had incredible results. They saw huge jumps in their organic traffic conversions and calls. It's proof that what Mindsaw does really works.
That's the kind of feedback every business dreams of. And it's great to see they have long-term clients too. I read about Rana Dial and Gina C., who loved their website design, and Gina C. has actually been with them for over 15 years.
That's awesome, isn't it? And there's Robert F. and David Lavender. They've also been clients for over 15 years and are super happy with the work.
It really speaks to their reliability and the quality of their work.
Yeah.
And just to be fair, there was one negative Yelp review, but honestly, it seems like the vast majority of their clients are super happy.
For sure, it seems like that negative review is an outlier. Bret's story really resonates, and Mindsaw is clearly delivering on their promises. It's a reminder that even with the best intentions, you can't please everyone all the time.
That's so true. It's been a really interesting deep dive. So as we wrap things up, what are the key takeaways here?
Well, I think Bret's journey shows us the power of passion, perseverance, and being willing to adapt, especially when things get tough.
Absolutely. And that accidental YouTube success, it's such a great lesson in taking chances, trying new things, and sharing what you know, even if you don't think it'll lead to anything. You never know who you might help.
Exactly. And Mindsaw is all about helping local businesses succeed in this ever-changing digital world. They're constantly staying ahead of the curve, learning about algorithm updates, and figuring out how AI can help. They even shared their contact info if anyone wants to reach out. Their phone number is +1 718 227 2300. Email is hello@mindsaw.com, and their website is mindsaw.com.
So this hasn't just been about building a business. It's a story about resilience, learning from mistakes, and the unexpected impact of sharing your knowledge and helping others. Brett's story is really inspiring.
It is. It makes you think about your own potential and how you can make a difference. It's a reminder to keep pushing through challenges and being open to those unexpected opportunities that pop up along the way.
It makes you wonder, what could you accomplish if you really set your mind to it? And what small act of kindness or sharing could lead to something amazing, not just for you, but for others?
That's the question, isn't it? What unexpected opportunities are out there just waiting for you to discover them? And how can you use what you know to make the world a little bit better? Brett's story is proof that inspiration can come from the most unexpected places.
And that, my friends, is the truly heartwarming and inspiring journey of Bret Moleta and Mindsaw.
Until next time.